So Bob Moog was an inventor, I suppose we'd say, a musician. He was many things, an entrepreneur, really. And he developed the Moog synthesizer company, which is still in business. Um, what he did was he took the idea of the circuit that could make sound, like Theremin was playing with, and he added the ability to make it modular. So, what that means is that we could take a bunch of them and connect them together. And we could control them with a keyboard, something that looked like a musical keyboard. So, this is Bob Moog in his younger years, and you can see he's in front of one of his synthesizers, and you can see all these cables connecting things together. That's the modular element of it. And he's got a keyboard. He also has here, I believe, a ribbon strip, which was another way of controlling these kinds of synthesizers. We don't really use a ribbon strip anymore. It worked kind of like a theremin, where you could just run your finger across it and the pitch will go up and down. They're not as popular anymore. But controlling a synthesizer with something that we were already familiar with, like a piano keyboard, was really monumental. But there were a few people doing similar things at the time. The thing that Moog is really best known for is developing these big, complex synthesizers. Here's an example of the big Moog synthesizer. Now, this is a recreation of one, a new version of the original Moog synthesizer, but it's the same sound, same basic idea.
Sounds again. I have not played with a fixed filter bank in so many decades, so very, very thrilling. So now we'll go ahead and patch up some more complex things. So one of the first things you want to do is hear 3 of the oscillators going at the same time. It's quite amazing. So we'll just plug in 3 of these beasts. We'll take sawtooth out.
So you can see here that it's a lot more like a musical instrument, right? Like, this is something that people started to say, like, wait a minute, like, maybe this is real. Maybe this is a real musical instrument, one that deserves to be studied in the same way that the violin deserves to be studied. That was a pretty controversial attitude at the time, and I don't think there was a lot of people taking it very seriously. We're in about the 1960s here, early 1960s. So some pop acts started using it. You can hear this kind of a synthesis in a lot of the more popular music of the day. But in terms of a serious instrument and like really studying it, it didn't really get taken seriously until one person came along and became the world's first virtuoso of the Moog synthesizer. In the same way that we saw Clara Rockmore become the first virtuoso of the theremin, and that helped legitimize the instrument because people could see that there was like somebody who could study it and become virtuosically good at it. The same thing happened with the Moog when we got Wendy Carlos to come and show us how the Moog synthesizer could hold up to the standards of traditional classical music instruments. Let's go to a new video and let's talk about Wendy Carlos and her contribution to electronic music in general at this point in history.